Hello everyone and welcome back yet again to another drum playthrough review. Hang on like 2 seconds, I gotta change over the lighting for the video because I'm a dum-dum. Hopefully y'all are doing fantastic today. For everyone who's brand new to these videos, hello and welcome. My name is Nick. I'm a drummer and a multi-instrumentalist, and we like to do videos like these to take a look and exemplify drummers who are much better than we are, break down their technique to a nice and easy to digest form so that way we can absorb it, learn it, imbibe it, and use that to make ourselves better musicians. And we've certainly got an interesting drummer on here today. So I'm sure y'all have heard of the band Crypta. Crypta is an all-female death metal band. I believe they're from Brazil, if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, then obviously someone correct me down in the comments. But these guys are absolutely sick. I think they're pretty darn cool. They make a lot of really interesting stuff, and a lot of the stuff as far as the drums are concerned, much more up my alley as compared to like all the drummers that are out there nowadays, and a lot of the stuff that's coming out more modern day. I like it when drums kind of have that old school sound, but I also do like a lot of the new stuff that's going on with drums that I think is really sick. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a Crypta drum playthrough today. Now, this drum playthrough is by Luana Dametto. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. If I am incorrect, just let me know down in the comments down below. This is a song that's called Trial of Traitors, and this is a drum playthrough by their drummer, and I think this is going to be absolutely sick. I've seen other videos from her before, and she absolutely is a powerhouse. Better drummer than me, that's for sure. So I'm stoked to get into this with you guys, and I think this is going to be an absolutely sick playthrough. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's take a look and see what she's got to show us, because I'm sure there is quite a bit that we have to learn. Before we start though, I check my YouTube analytics as any good creator should, and only about 0.7% of you guys are actually subscribed to the channel. What are you guys doing with your lives? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. We do a lot of fun stuff and a lot of videos just like this on here. We're going to have a lot more fun content coming your way, so stick around. It's going to be a fun journey. All right, well, without further ado, ladies and gents, let's dive into it. Let's take a look and see what Luana's got to show us. This is Trial of Traitors by Crypta. Nice sponsors as well. I wish I was sponsored by Paste. Oh, nice. We got webcam quality on the feet. Good angle technique, though. Look at that. Look at that power. That's stick height and speed right there. I mean, that's at least coming up like 10 inches from the drum head. Maybe about like 9 inches. I don't know. Somewhere around there. She looks totally relaxed. Very good power. It looks like a little bit of wrist in there, but a lot of that is coming from the fingers. Let's see German technique a little bit. Very powerful feet. Yeah, very excellent technique is there. And the blast beats sound tight. She's doing a little bit less in this part to support the solo, which is really good. Like, I'm just kind of blown away by that power. That's insane. She's coming up with it. That's crazy. Yeah, just totally relax with it. You don't see any strain going on there. Lots of blast beats as well. I'm a fan of blast beats, as you guys can probably tell. Also good power with the feet as well. Very well done, I will say that for sure. It's a catchy drum line, I will say that for sure. Very well done. Very, very well done. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Very nice and tasty. I will say that for sure. And obviously a lot of really good power, a lot of really cool stuff to analyze. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what we got going on with Luana's playthrough there. There's a lot we can learn from that. All right, well, first off, getting started with that power. Good Lord, that was really good power. One thing that I have emphasized before whenever we review female drummers or anything like that on the channel is that the one issue female drummers oftentimes have is that they can't keep up with the same power as most of the time men can. So they have to find other ways to compensate to, you know, be able to achieve certain amounts of power that, you know, would allow them to keep up with the guys. And a lot of that stuff is based off of just, you know, purely biological problems. Men produce more testosterone, women produce more estrogen, so therefore there's going to be a little bit of an imbalance as far as the power is concerned. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, I will say that for sure. There's definitely strengths that women have that men don't have when it comes to drums. But the one thing that I found, especially when it comes to metal drummers, is that the women hit way harder than the men for some reason, and I never understood that, but it's absolutely funny to see because the women absolutely beat absolute crap out of their drums, especially in metal bands. And it's because they have to find other ways to compensate for that power because they may not have just the raw power that men would have. One thing I will say, it looks like she was using a combination between wrist and fingers technique when she was doing her blasting, and she was putting some juice behind that because that stick was literally lifting up about like at least it looked like 9 inches from the snare head, which is quite a height, especially at that pace of, you know, however fast it was. That's pretty darn quick. That's really good power there. And a lot of that can be achieved by continual practice, really drilling, you know, that hand technique to make sure that you're able to achieve the greatest amount of power with the least amount of effort. A lot of that stuff takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to try and really master as a technique. And that can only be achieved through practice. So what are some ways you can get the same power as Luana? Well, a lot of practice, a lot of time put into focusing on, you know, the consistency, because consistency is one big thing that you will recognize in a lot of her playthroughs. She stays very consistent with her power. It's not something that is, you know, like, oh, it's not, you know, the same with every playthrough. It's not the same with everything. Not every playthrough I've seen of hers ever. Very consistent on her power, very consistent on her speed and all that. She keeps very, very good consistency, and a lot of that comes through practice. Ways that you can help to build consistency would be things like titration exercises or pyramid exercises, as most people call them, where you start out at a tempo of like 100 and you build up to 200, then you climb back down to 100 to really help to build that timing, that consistency, and keep that power strong throughout the entire duration of the pyramid. One thing too that helps, that's more of a psychological thing, is ending your practice on a good note. This was something that I remember was discussed by David Diopold one time when I talked with him briefly when he was in Virginia. And the one thing he said is that, your practice session doesn't have to be 2 hours long or anything like that. It can be a good 10-minute practice session. And he said one thing that helps more than anything psychologically is if he ends his practice on a great note, absolutely nailing something, just setting down the sticks and walking away. You could literally be trying to perform a rudiment chain where you're doing say for example a 6-stroke roll into a paradiddle diddle and then switch into a Swiss Army triplet or whatnot at several varied tempos. If you were to say for example play something like that and absolutely nail it at all 3 tempos, just sit the sticks down and walk away. End that practice session on a good mental note, because ultimately psychologically that has an effect on you. It has a much more positive influence as well on your future practice sessions thereafter. It's all psychological because your brain starts to recognize certain patterns, and when it sees things are being ended on a good note, it wants to continue that, and so therefore it starts instilling things into muscle memory. This is science. It may sound absolutely simple-minded, it may sound smooth-brained to say something like that, but trust me, there's years of backing behind this stuff, and definitely keeping a very positive attitude will have a positive effect on your practice sessions, believe me. If you guys enjoyed that, don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe as well. Let me know what you guys thought of your playthrough, and don't forget to check out my channel for other videos we have that are very similar to this. And with all that being said, y'all, that's the end of this playthrough. So thanks for tuning in and stopping by. Great to have y'all here, and I will see you guys in the next one. So cheers, everyone. God bless, and have a great rest of your night.